Real quick before I get into this episode, just want to let you guys know I'm going live on Twitch almost immediately. I'm going live on Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So very shortly after this video is up, I'm going to be going live. Going to do that for a couple hours, and then I'm going to move on, and I'm going to do my podcast with Kyle at 10. That'll be here on this channel. So make sure you check both of those things out. Again, my Twitch is in the description below. And anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video. So I do think it is safe to say Aldon Smith is officially back. In fact, he actually currently leads the NFL in sacks with 4 sacks, largely because he had 3 last week against Seattle. So it's very cool to see. Great sort of redemption story. And let's just get into it. Let's talk about what he's doing so well. Part of what's always made him so talented is he has that perfect combination of being very fast, but also just being a huge guy who has a lot of strength. And this is a good example of how it works out, where he's going up one-on-one against a left tackle right here. And what you're going to see happen is that he's going to kind of try to get to the inside. That's his plan on this one. What he wants to do is he wants to get his left hand, hit it onto Brown's right side of his body, and push him around in that direction. And the reason why this works out so well is because he does have the speed where you do have to respect him going around to the outside. So watch how Smith is going to kind of get to the inside a little bit. You notice how he gets his left arm in position where he can try to swipe away and try to get to the other side. That's what he's trying to do right here. And what's really going to be impressive isn't necessarily the move, but just how well he pulls it off. Or watch how he's just able to completely move him. Wilson pump fakes, but does not actually throw it, which lets Aldon Smith get a sack right there. And he's been doing this a couple of times. Like, watch, this next one's another one. Once again, it's a one-on-one matchup. I think teams are going to quickly start to learn. Can't really leave this guy one-on-one. Going to have to chip him a good amount. But again, sort of similar idea where he's going to fake it. So he's going to the outside a little bit. Then he's going to try and get to the inside. And again, what I love about this one is look at how far bent over Brown is here. Brown is totally making sure he gets to the outside because he is concerned about getting beat with a speed rush. But, you know, Smith, he doesn't need to do that. He knows that he's strong enough that he can find other ways to beat you. And again, watch how he's just going to completely shove Brown completely out of the way, and he dives over and is able to disrupt that play. Not a sack that time, but he disrupted the play. And again, that's just kind of what he's been doing. He can get you to be uncomfortable, and he's just so strong. I mean, his strength has not deteriorated in the slightest. The guy's only 31 years old, so, clearly, he definitely still has the talent, and luckily, it looks like he's kept himself in shape over the years. I mean, it's just crazy to think he hasn't played for 4 years, but can still pull off moves like that. I do think the strength is the best thing about him. This play will be another example of that. This time he's on the other side of the screen, going up against a right tackle instead of a left tackle, and he's going to use his strength. Where watch what he's going to do here. This is essentially going to be a stab and grab move. Where watch how, once this play starts, Smith, he gets his left arm, he's going to push back, then with his right arm, his job is basically to dislodge 72's right arm. So, Smith's left arm to dislodge 72's right arm. That's the key placement here. That's the outside contact, really. And if he can get that arm out of position, he has a great opportunity to try and get through. That's typically what you do here. But Smith also notices that Russell Wilson, he has a little bit of time to walk up in the pocket a little bit. Not much, but he can move up in the pocket if he wants. And Smith is doing such a good job of just driving 72 back that he's kind of just going to say, hey, you know what? Let's just improvise. Let's turn this into jazz, and let's just completely run through. He's going to continue to push 72 back, go out, and get yet another sack. And again, it's that strength. It's the fact that he has strength. That's not necessarily just a bull rush, but he's so strong he can kind of turn it into one. Just an incredible play. And again, he's doing that. He did this all game against Seattle. It wasn't just, you look at 3 sacks and you think, okay, it must have been an incredible performance. But, sometimes you have 3 sacks and it's because you got lucky on a couple of them. And sometimes you have 3 sacks because you were in the backfield all night. For him, it was definitely the latter. I do want to be very clear, though. Smith doesn't have to just use strength to get sacks. He can use his speed. He is a very quick guy. Let's look at this one where he's actually going to be a part of a twist where you're going to have the interior defensive lineman kind of run up, and his job is to get the guard out of position. That's what he's trying to do here. Gets the guard to move to the right side of the screen as well. And then Smith is going to just kind of cut over. And the hope is that if the guard does, in fact, follow the interior defensive lineman, when Smith runs around, he can potentially get through completely untouched. The downside is that since he has to run through that gap, there is a chance that, it'll just take him too long because he has more room to run. So, this is a move that requires some speed. But Smith is going to be able to do a great job of getting through that gap quickly. He disrupts the play, which results in an interception. And listen, I'm not trying to say he's Khalil Mack fast. I'm not trying to say he's TJ Watt fast. Like, there are some quicker guys in the NFL than Smith, but Smith has the speed where he can at least keep you honest with it. I do feel like he was a little bit faster in his heyday with San Francisco. I think he looks a little bit slower, not incredibly slower, but a little bit slower. However, he still is very fast, and all he needs to do is just, really, put himself in position where he can use his strength. And you can be in some serious trouble. One other thing I want to talk about is it's not just him as an edge rusher. He's actually played some snaps as an interior defensive lineman, which I find very interesting. But you know what? He's having success with that as well. On this one, he's lined up one-on-one against the guard. He's literally just going straight up against the guard right here. So, listen, the fact that you can have him sort of bounce around, you have that versatility, I think it really helps. What Smith is going to do is kind of fake as though he's going to go to 70s right a little bit, but then very quickly go to the left. So watch how a couple steps in, he's able to immediately get to the left, and he has decent positioning now. Now he can try and move over. 70, on the other hand, his left arm is really the key right here. He has to try and grab Smith. So what Smith is going to try and do is he's going to try to get his right arm and dislodge that. And spoiler alert, it's not going to work out too well. But what I love about this is even though 70 is able to push him to a side, watch how Smith just does a spin move and is able to get free, and he's able to tackle Goff right away. He got some help from the rest of his line also, not allowing Goff to be comfortable or move anywhere else in the pocket. So definitely some help on that sack. But, a sack is a sack. And it's plays like that. His technique is still there. His strength is still there. His speed might not be what it once was, but it's good enough to be successful. And quite frankly, I see no reason why he won't continue to have success. And listen, you're 3 games in and you have 4 sacks. That's definitely some pretty good numbers. So how good can he end up being? Well, it's hard to say, really. Obviously, back when he was with San Francisco, he was just a complete monster. He really was. The most notable season he had was 2012 when he had 19.5 sacks, and he had 14 sacks the year prior. So he definitely has had some great moments. And even in Oakland, I thought he played okay, even though it clearly wasn't quite as good. He also did not get really much playing time. In fact, he's only played in 2 full seasons in his entire career, which is kind of crazy to think about. It feels like he was playing for, forever because he, has over 50 sacks. But despite the fact that he has over 50 sacks, he's only played in 2 full seasons, which is kind of wild. There is definitely a great what-if story with Smith. Obviously there was the off-the-field issues. You have to wonder if that didn't happen, how good could he have been? Could he have, he's probably, I think it's fair to say, he could have put himself into Hall of Fame consideration. He certainly had that potential. Seems unlikely now just because he missed so much time, unless he's able to have a couple more 19.5 sack seasons, then maybe. But either way, the fact that Dallas was able to basically get him for free, take a complete flyer on him, and now he's playing like an elite level edge rusher, that's an incredible find for Dallas. They should feel very good about themselves, and Smith should feel very good about himself. He just turned 31 5 days ago. And he's playing really well. Hopefully it continues. Who knows? Maybe he could end up leading the league in sacks again. That would be wild. But yeah, I think he's playing incredible. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Aldon Smith and his return to the NFL? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.